Hi, my name is Tusita. Welcome to the photosynthesis video number 3. So earlier two videos, video number 1, we have learned what is photosynthesis and who can do the photosynthesis. And then the video number 2, we have learned the plant structure and especially the structure of the chloroplast, which is the most important structure the photosynthesis process takes place. Now the last part of that lessons we have learned the chloroplast contain pigments. These pigments are called chlorophyll basically, and this chlorophyll is primary pigments as well as there are other pigments, secondary or accessory pigments. For example, we have learned several accessory pigments like carotenoids, xanthopyl-like, and chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are the most important chlorophyll for the plants. And algae and cyanobacteria, they have a different chlorophylls. So today we're going to learn how these chlorophylls, primary, accessory, together with protein, how they made the photosystem. So I'm again showing you here just to start with the video. That's the cut section of the thylakoid. And this thylakoid membrane, we have a small aggregation. These are called photosystem. So photosystem made up of primary, accessory, and the proteins. Primary pigments, accessory pigments, primary pigments, accessory pigments, protein. So these three structures make the photosystem. So we have two kind of photosystem. Photosystem abbreviation PS, PS1 and photosystem 2. So photosystem 1 also known as P700. This is photosystem 2 P680. So why this P700 and P680? So electromagnetic wavelength, the visible range starting from 400 to 700, a little bit more nanometer. In the visible range, the 400 to 700, photosystem 1, they get the wavelength 1, this is this area 700, and here PS2 at 680. Let's look at how this photosystem is organized. Now photosystem is organized in this way. So that's a primary pigments, chlorophyll, and the blue color is the accessory pigments. That's the blue color accessory pigments, and just slightly yellowish, maybe the black color proteins. So photosystem is made of primary pigments, accessory pigments and proteins. So they make this kind of a structure on the thylakoid membrane. That's a structure of the photosystem. So this photosystem, what it does, the sunlight is coming this direction, so it absorbs the sunlight, and the sunlight is funneled into the bottom of this photosystem called reaction center. So I can draw you the thylakoid membrane like this, and on this thylakoid membrane we get a large number of photosystems. These are the photosystems in the thylakoid membrane. The purpose of this photosystem is to collect energy over a broad range of wavelength and then concentrate to one molecule called reaction center. Here's the reaction center. Has a broad range of the wavelength ranging from 400 to 700 nanometer, and then concentrate it to the one molecule called reaction center, which uses the energy to pass one of its electrons onto series of proteins. So when this energy concentrate to here, the energy can hit the electrons and electron get the energy. Electron is excited. Not only excited, the excited electrons can jump out of the atoms and can jump out of the photosystem. So they can leave the photosystem. We will see this later on how this happens. Basically the function of photosystem is to get the light from broad range 400 to 700 nanometer and then concentrate it into the reaction center. So reaction center, most important molecule is the chlorophyll, and the accessory pigment and the other proteins molecule can help all the sunlight funnel into the reaction center, so that none of the molecule will not damage due to the sunlight, as all molecules play a teamwork to bring this sunlight into the reaction center. So this one, the aggregate of different molecules is called antenna complex. That's the reaction center. Now, the sunlight, the visible range, constitute only one of many types of electromagnetic radiations. Sunlight is coming, so they're made up of electromagnetic radiation. So this is ranging from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. It's a visible light. So here the photosystem can absorb the broad range from 400 to 700 nanometer. So this wavelength is refers as photosynthetically active radiation. Active radiation. So basically what we have learned in this lesson, the structure of the photosystem, which is made up of primary pigments, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, and then accessory pigment, just like a carotene and xanthine, and then proteins. So all these molecules aggregate to make this antenna complex, and the bottom is the reaction center. The broad range from 400 to 700 nanometer, the light is now funneled, concentrate into the reaction center. What's happening in reaction center then? The electrons are excited and emitted. That we will learn separately, right? So another important thing of this one, the light, the wavelength of the light is the 400 to 700 nanometers. So I can say this one basically violet, just violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. That's 7 colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So this area is more blue color, just the blue color area, and the other area is more red color, this area. That's a more red color area, blue and red color area. So the wavelength absorbed by the pigments are like this. This area, they absorb the wavelength. So this is called absorption spectrum. Here, what is absorption spectrum? The wavelength of light absorbed by each pigment. The wavelength of light absorbed by each pigment. And more or less same way we have this another one called action spectrum. So action spectrum indicate overall rate of photosynthesis. Overall rate of photosynthesis. As you can see, if each pigment absorbs the wavelength like this, that should be proportionate to the rate of photosynthesis. If this absorption is like this, same magnitude, the rate of photosynthesis overlap more or less with the absorption spectrum and the action spectrum. Now next video we are going to look the first stage of the photosynthesis, light dependent reaction or light reaction.